two more presidential libraries. We're here at the George Bush Presidential Library and Museum here in Dallas, Texas. I believe this is where you enter. I could be wrong. I think this is where you enter. But here's the second to last library. I'm gonna go in, learn about the president I grew up with, and we'll see how this compares to the museum in Little Rock. Look at that. LA. Let's go. Oh, Lebanon gave him a gift.
Where? Where's Lebanon?
Right there. Lebanon gave him a gift. She's mad.
Technology was developed for this venue to use this before. 360 degrees, no distortions in the corners. This section is from 16 degrees. Then we're going to go into a flyover of Washington, D.C., which is my favorite. And then the last section coming in.
You're gonna walk here, though.
Yes, this is this, yes.
Our government will be on full alert.
Yeah.
For 6 minutes, you wonder what they said.
Yeah.
Exhaustion. There is
We're out in Louisiana.
to win a war. So on the Lord's Day, I say to my fellow Americans, thank you for your prayers, compassion. Thank you for your love for one another.
Lincoln in the portrait of Lincoln, one of his favorite presidents there, and each president has Washington, a portrait of Washington. Greenery was introduced by Jacqueline Kennedy in the early 60s. And to this day, greenery put in her Navy, and when she decommissioned it, she built 3 desks from the oak of that ship, one of which she gave to President Hayes in 1880. And it's been in the White House since. In recent decades, presidents have used it in the Oval Office. So feel free to take a picture behind this desk. We have a photographer here as well as you can use your cell phones or the camera. And so enjoy.
Oh, no, I'm good.
If you have any questions about the declarations or what have you, let me know.
It's pretty awesome.
Where y'all from?
Chicago. Obama's home.
We from Skokie, Illinois, bordering Chicago, you know, like.
They broke ground.
his area right there that he's not very alive. So
You're close enough to Washington for people to be able to have easy access, and that you're far enough away that you're not constantly surrounded. I've used Camp David for kind of private retreat, but I've also used it for commercial owned business. Every world problem is special in the presidency here on Earth. It's important that people be able to look at the active agreement. One of the recipes is the one that signifies the special relationship with the United States and the Great Britain.
Oops.
about 6 foot.
6 foot.
That's what they
Is
said.
that taller, right?
6'1", they said. Yeah. Not bad. Yeah.
My parents grew up in, so we really love it there.
Our mom grew up in West Texas, and I think she just feels very comfortable in sort of wide open spaces in Texas.
Yeah.
And she loves native plants, and she loves the natural beauty that Texas offers. And our ranch is a perfect example of that.
We believe in the greatest truth. To whom much is given, much is required.
A cornerstone of the Bush administration was the belief that America is a generous nation with a moral responsibility to help relieve poverty, disease, and despair around the world.
And the position of America is clear. We will lead the cause of freedom, justice, and hope.
Here's the thing I want to try here. Decision points.
We need to give the international community more time to work out a diplomatic solution. In any case, the U.S. shouldn't undertake military action to depose Saddam Hussein without the support from key allies, such as France and Germany.
Saddam has defied 17 UN resolutions over 12 years. At some point, it should be clear that Saddam Hussein has no intention of complying with international demands.
A new missile system may prove to be the flashpoint.
The problem is the missiles have flown further than the 93-mile range permitted by UN resolutions.
Intelligence indicates that Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. And don't forget, during the Gulf War, we also discovered that Saddam was much further along in developing.
This is not easy.
No, it's a lot to consider.
That's why this is the job of the president to think.
Yeah, it's like you hear totally opposite things and you have to decide who's right and who's wrong. You should be able to touch it. Is that one not going?
There. We do not have any intelligence that indicates Saddam Hussein is planning an imminent attack on the U.S.
Ordinary people the world over are expressing their opinions on whether the U.S. should go to war against Iraq.
The drumbeat of criticism has been loud, and it's growing.
Shit.
There is no sign that Saddam Hussein is preparing an imminent attack on the U.S. If we act to depose him, other countries could use our actions to wage unjustified wars in the future.
The world changed on 9/11. Saddam shows every sign he wants to get terrorist weapons of mass destruction to attack the U.S., a risk we cannot afford. We should remove him from power without further delay.
Let's see.
Time's up. It's time to make a decision. You were asked how to address the threat of Saddam Hussein. You had three options. The people in the theater today decided to seek another UN resolution. Here's what President Bush did.
My first choice was to use diplomacy rather than putting American troops in harm's way.
Shit.
The UN had already passed 16 resolutions demanding that Saddam Hussein disarm. I was hopeful that the 17th
It's created a momentum. It's taken on a life of its own, and it is so exciting.
It also inspired the two charitable trusts to launch Global Ocean Legacy, a group working to secure the designation of large, fully protected marine reserves in our area. In 2010, the British government designated the Chinese Marine Reserve, protecting 247,000 square miles of diverse deepwater habitat and marine information.
How we never did this. Hurricane Katrina, we never did this. Another donated like $30,000 worth of food during this time. It was such a momentous thing, and I know that I participated.
Leaders around the world are continuing to make progress in ocean conservation. In 2020, Australia designated the Coral Sea Marine National Park, covering 194,000 square miles of open marine land. 2 years later, President Obama expanded the Pacific Remote Islands Marine National Park.
Finally, this is his last thing. Going from citizen, resident to citizen on that day. And now this is what he did.
When you value each life and you believe each person is special, you want to have more reason to listen to that person's opinion.
I feel always hopeful about our country. I think we've proved as Americans that we can overcome tough times, that we can be united, and that we're grateful to be Americans.
This is a very compassionate, loving land, and it is a great hope.
We'll use our influence to help our children start lives with quality education. Help more Americans find jobs and economic opportunity. Help more countries overcome poverty and disease. 800,000 people in the Pacific are elected. We'll work to empower women around the world to transform their countries. Stand behind the courageous men and women who have stepped forward to wear the uniform of the United States to defend our flag and our freedoms here at home.
Our programs are adaptable to the times. There are a set of principles that will guide us into the future, and those principles are enduring and everlasting. Laura and I are thrilled you're here. Thanks so much for coming and taking time out of your schedule to learn about what we're doing here at the Bush Center.
Thank you for coming to the Bush Center, and come back.
Public service to me means serving something greater than yourself and helping other people. You know, there's the choices that Laura and I made before we lived after the presidency. There was no doubt it's going to be the state of Texas. We're Texans. We love Texas. The second decision is where to build a presidential library and what to make of it. We chose Dallas on the SMU campus. We've got a lot of friends here in Dallas. We want to be associated with a university.
A presidential library is not just about one president. Each library is about our nation and the world during that time. The George W. Bush Presidential Center reflects George's role as the first president of the 21st century. We welcome scholars and students and the community at large to gather here for generations to come.
George and I both had parents who were active in their communities and served in many ways. So Barbara and Jenna were raised that way too. And I think most Americans feel a responsibility to their own communities to try to make their communities better. It's one of the great attributes of America.
One of the great things about America is that there's a lot of people who do that without the call of government. They've moved to help somebody else because of their hearts. My hope is that when you come to the Bush Center, you learn the importance of values, that you understand there are policies that can make the world a better place. This is a place of compassion and decency. I hope you understand that history matters and that serving our country is a very important part of the American fabric. The principle of the Bush Center are freedom, accountability, opportunity, and compassion. We promote policies that help people, which is the essence of compassion. We believe strongly that the best public policy is one that shows compassion for others. And therefore our programs reflect that. When you value each life and you believe each person is special, it makes it a heck of a lot easier to listen to that person's opinion.
I feel always hopeful about our country. I think we've proved as Americans that we can overcome tough times, that we can be united, and that we're grateful to be Americans.
This is a very compassionate, loving land, and that gives me great hope about the future.
We'll use our influence to help more children start life with a quality education, to help more Americans find jobs and economic opportunity, to help more countries overcome poverty and disease, to help more people in every part of the world live in freedom. We'll work to empower women around the world to transform their countries, stand behind the courageous men and women who have stepped forward to wear the uniform of the United States to defend our flag and our freedoms here at home.
Our programs are adaptable to the times. There are a set of principles that will guide us into the future, and those principles are enduring and everlasting. Laura and I are thrilled you're here. Thanks so much for coming and taking time out of your schedule to learn about what we're doing here at the Bush Center.
Thank you for coming to the Bush Center, and come back.
Monks.